And the Trump campaign again says they're going to file a lawsuit in Pennsylvania over the vote counting process there.
Not a single Republican has been able to look at any one of these mail ballots. They could be from Mars, as far as we're concerned, or they could be from the Democratic National.
Members of the president's inner circle, including his personal lawyer, that's Rudy Giuliani, and his son, Eric Trump, are also falsely claiming a Trump victory in the state of Pennsylvania. Election workers there, though, are still chipping away at about 1 million uncounted mail-in ballots. And let's take you to Philadelphia. Protesters hit the streets to demand that all votes do get counted. All right, let's go to CNN's Nadia Romero. She joins us now from Washington with more on what Team Trump is saying and doing today. Nadia, it was interesting that we saw not the president, but his son and his personal lawyer come out in Philadelphia to speak. What more did they have to say?
Yeah, we heard from both of them today in Philadelphia, and it's the state of Pennsylvania that really is in the crossfires for the Trump campaign. They have their eye on this state. It's a state that the president must win in order to have any path to victory, really, at this point. And so they were there talking about these absentee ballots, and this has gone through at least 2 court cases where Pennsylvania has ballots, and it's in the law that as long as they're postmarked by Election Day, they can arrive 3 days later, so by Friday at 5 p.m. Well, Republicans in the state have tried to toss that out multiple times. And now the president is suing again, asking the Supreme Court of the United States to toss out absentee ballots that weren't received by Election Day. And really, this comes down to the president using the court that he was able to stack. He was able to confirm 3 Supreme Court justices, and now there is a 6-3 conservative majority in the Supreme Court. He told us all during the campaign and all during the election season that he would have to go to the courts if it was necessary. And what necessary is him losing. If it looks like he's going to lose, or if he thinks that he's being treated unfairly, or if he believes there is some type of fraud. He told us for months now that he would go to the courts, and now he's doing that.
Okay,
Morella?
They're also looking at legal action in Michigan and also in Wisconsin, but Rudy Giuliani then threw a banner over everything saying they might pursue national legal action. Did he get into details of what that would look like?
Yeah, so if you want to do a recount in Michigan and Wisconsin, you can. You have the right to do so as long as there is like a 1% margin between the 2 candidates. There is in both states, but there's a threshold. In Wisconsin, it has to be 0.2% of a margin, and Pennsylvania, it has to be 0.5%, and then the state will pay for it. If not, then the candidate has to pay for that recount, and that's why we're seeing the Trump campaign sending out emails to surrogates, sending out emails to supporters asking for donations. In Wisconsin, back in 2016, Jill Stein, she was a third-party candidate when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were going up against each other. Jill Stein requested a recount. It cost her $3.5 million. So it's not cheap to do this. So if President Trump wants to have a recount in Michigan and Wisconsin, he's going to have to pay for it. But he also has legal battles brewing in Pennsylvania. And then we have our eye on Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, other states where the president wants all of the ballots counted. So the language changes depending on where you are. In states where Joe Biden looks to be the projected winner, in Michigan and Wisconsin, the president is calling fraud. But in states like Nevada and Arizona, he still thinks he has a chance to win, and absentee ballots are coming in from rural suburban areas that are more likely to be Republican, so he wants those ballots to be counted. So don't count those ballots, count these ballots. I'm going to sue you. There's a lot going on with the Trump campaign, and it's all coming down to the fact that it looks like Joe Biden will meet that magic number of 270 before the president does. So the president is doing what he's always done his entire life. When something doesn't go his way, he calls in his attorneys. We saw that when he was at an entertainment mogul. We saw that in real estate. This is something that is very predictable out of the president of the United States.
Now, tell me quickly what this has done to the country, to be embroiled in this kind of controversy even before a winner is declared.
Well, we knew it would take a couple of days, right? Because we're in the middle of this pandemic, and a lot of states allowed for absentee ballots to be mailed out sooner. They allowed for more time for those ballots to come back and be counted. And when you talk to any of the Secretary of State within any state, they tell you to be patient, that they're going to count the ballots the best they can, but we are in the middle of an unprecedented year. So most people realized that we weren't going to get election results on election night. And it's not anything new, right? We have these projected winners, but all the ballots haven't been counted because we have military servicemen and women overseas, and they get even longer to send their ballots back in. And so in every election, you don't get a certified election the night of the election, especially not in contested battleground states. But having the President of the United States come out at about 2:30 in the morning and basically declaring victory was something that a lot of even Republicans pushed back on. The president basically said he won a game in the middle of halftime, and that's just not how it works. And so right now you are seeing people eagerly watching their phones, watching TV. I spoke with my grandmother this morning. She said when she came out of the grocery store, there were people huddled around a car listening to the radio. That's when Michigan was the projected winner for Joe Biden. And so this is happening all across the country where people are trying to figure out, when will we have this projected winner? And it's not as helpful when someone comes out and says that they won when they haven't met that threshold.
Yeah. CNN's Nadia Romero in Washington, thank you for bringing us up to speed. Appreciate your time.